Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whenever this video finds you, I hope you're having a rad time. I'm the Figure Dude, and on today's Action Figure Showcase, we're going to take a look at the Ministry of Darkness. Without further ado, let's talk about some figures. Dude. Welcome back. Like I said, today we are taking a look at the Ministry of Darkness, and this is a group I've wanted to complete for a long time, and one that I'm kind of surprised with some of the figures we've gotten. We've got a few different versions of the Undertaker during this time period, which I know it feels like some people either like hate the Ministry or thought it was really cool. I was someone who thought it was really cool. I was young then, so all the supernatural stuff with Undertaker wasn't a turnoff for me, and I loved his theme music during this time. It was different than his like what he comes out to now. It wasn't his biker taker gimmick. It was just like a more like a heavier I don't know how to explain. If you don't know what I'm talking about after this, go check out Undertaker Ministry theme on YouTube. It is fantastic. But anyway, I figured, what the heck? We're talking about the Ministry of Darkness. We better start out with the Patriarch. We've got the Undertaker. And this figure is the Network Spotlight figure from Toys R Us. It came with this hood, which I don't know. I feel like... could be wrong. I know when Vince McMahon revealed himself as the higher power, maybe he was wearing the red robe or hood, whatever. I don't know, what do you want to call this? I guess I don't know. It's a hooded something, whatever. Anyway, Taker came with this black one, and it has the same head as the defining moment figure that we got, which I also that's coming up. That's one of my favorite Taker figures here. But what I did just to make this one a little bit different, because I had a few extras of this head, was paint the eyes white, which I think actually the first defining moment we got of Undertaker in his Ministry attire, that is what his eyes were. I'm pretty sure they were whited out. But this is that Network Spotlight figure. The torso is kind of like what we got with the most recent Legends figure, I believe. It's got this design on it, but then we did get the Ultimate Edition that kind of looks like this as well. But here's my first Ministry Taker, and then here is another one. We're just going to keep on rolling. We've got this one. I love this figure. I love this head scan because it's just so different for Undertaker. Here, let's adjust a little bit. There, so we had a legend. This is the Hall of Champions figure in the red, and then I think we just got the same one in the Greatest Hits wave. I think it was the red as well. There were other colors that he wore, and at some point, I really don't remember exactly, but at some point when he looked like this, he tagged with Big Show and won the titles, which I still feels just random. Like, I completely forget that was a thing that happened. But again, I like this look, and especially with Undertaker, there's just so many different ways, so many different looks for him. Just attires, like back in the day, he kind of cycled through a lot of things before I feel like he really landed on his feet. And then like Ruthless Aggression era, once we got past the biker gimmick, he almost exclusively wore his long pants and singlet. So before then, any flashback takers I'm typically a huge fan of. And then, like I said, here is that Defining Moments figure, which I still think is one of Mattel's best that they've given us. I love the cape. I love the head scan. You can see with this one, they put a lot more effort into the hair. So if you look at this head scan, I did, like I said, I painted these eyes, but just look at the hair. Like, this one is got a nice fade. This one's just all painted black. I would like to see this with true effects. I would love if we got an ultimate of this one. I think that would be really cool. You know what? We're going to put him to the side here. And then we'll put this Defining Moments one in the middle. We've got, I was going to say updated. We've got these boots with the design on them. Like, they really went all out for this figure. And, you know, it doesn't have true effects, it doesn't have double joints, but overall, I think it's a really nice figure that holds up and one of my favorite takers for sure. Next up are the Faroo and Bradshaw Acolytes Legends figures that we just recently got. And these, I think, are two really nice figures. The only issue I have is with Bradshaw's torso. And I have a couple of customs here to just show like my fix-up for them. But overall, I think these are two really nice figures. I was excited to get them in their Acolytes attire. I had Bradshaw when I was younger, a Jax Bradshaw, but I don't think I had a Faroo that matched him. And thinking about it, I don't even know, like, I got it in a 2-pack with like Faroo or with Bradshaw and Test maybe. And I don't know if I never owned a Faroo. So being able to have the Acolytes, APA, as they would be known later, in action figure form is always really cool. I think that the head sculpts for both of these are really nice. I think the Faroo figure is spot on. Maybe they could have done the legs a little bigger, but I think the torso works. I like the arms are good. I'm glad they fixed the skin tone, which I talked about before. Like, the skin tones they've given Ron Simmons has been all over the place. So I'm happy they finally kind of settled on one here. And then, like I've said this before as well, that the only issue I have with this Bradshaw figure is the torso. And here is my fix up to that. So I didn't do it with the Legends figure because it's got that logo up on the crotch piece. But here is my Bradshaw fix up. So I just took the Mean Mark Callis body and took off the design there. And this is from WrestleMania 18. They wrestled for the tag belts. Come on, there we go. So you could just see, like, I think that fits him way better. He never, ever was skinny. He was always just, like, the big, rugged Texan. And I think that my custom fits that a lot better. But, you know, you get what you get. I'm glad we at least got that head scan. And these guys slot in perfectly with my Ministry collection here. So I'm only going to complain a little bit. Next up is Visera, and this is a figure I didn't even like think about us getting. I'm pretty sure we got a Visera, or at least like a couple versions of him in the Jax line, but I didn't really like how they did big guy figures. I don't know, I felt like they were kind of lazy with how they made the bigger wrestlers. And this figure, it's okay. The piece that they have over him, though, like, stops him from moving. He is basically just a statue. But at the same time, Visera really wasn't flying around the ring, putting on 5-star matches at this time anyway, or really ever. I think that for me, Visera was just like cool looking. He was scary with his contacts and his blonde mohawk. But like, I did not think I never even had it on my list as something I really wanted because I didn't expect it. And for us to get Visera, I thought was really, really cool, especially like that's a, no pun intended, a big custom to tackle. There's a lot, just as far as like the pieces, getting that rubber overlay, like finding stuff for that would have been really difficult. And I don't know, maybe I would have tackled it eventually, but to be able to just get it from Mattel officially was really cool. And then I did want to just like compare. So he's got his Mabel figure, which I think like is probably one of my favorites because one, it's a big figure, and I think they did it really, really well. It's the same legs, so I know that there is articulation possible with this figure. It's just this big rubber piece stops all of that. I assume that it's like the same upper, maybe not like the like there's no tassels on it, obviously, but same sort of upper. And I just like, I think they've nailed these two figures. And then I did want to grab my Big Daddy V custom as well, because why not? Throw him in there. But I would love if we got a Mattel version of Big Daddy V. I'd really enjoy if we got Visera when he was the world's largest love machine. I don't even think you could basically do this. You could, and you just like have to give him pants. So I don't know. I didn't expect to get Visera or Mabel, so maybe we'll get that down the line. But this Visera absolutely vital for completing the ministry. Next up, we have one of my favorite acts from the Attitude Era. We've got the Brood, and of course, this is a custom Gangrel. I used a Christian. You can see the figure right next to him. It was pretty easy to take those parts and do what I had to do with Gangrel. So I use a Nasty Boy figure for the legs because these boots aren't completely accurate, but for me they worked. I gave him the black legs, obviously, just swapped over that shirt and arms from the Christian figure, and then I just used a Jax Titantron Live head because it was available and it worked enough for me. We're talking about a vampire that spits blood, so if it looks a little cartoony, I can get over it. The Christian and Edge figures here. This Edge is actually from the SummerSlam Elite. Well, I think it was a SummerSlam figure. I think it might have been like the subset for SummerSlam, and I just did my Edge showcase, and I talked about how I really like this formula because Edge, like when he even wore kick pads, they still were tall, but like you can see plenty of his calf, and you can see that here his legs are a little bit skinnier. I just think this body works way better for the old Edge figures, and this is my favorite head scan for Edge. It's from the Legends figure. I've had a bunch of those extra, so I threw that on basically all the Attitude Era Edge figures I have. I don't know. Did I talk much about this Christian figure? I like the purple. Honestly, there's some other ones I could have gone with, but you know, it works. It's not bad. And I do have the Chase figure. I was able to pick this up at my comic store, actually. So this one came in black with the like a yellowish, grayish, greenish, green, like a forest green. I don't know. It's a weird color, but if you saw this in like live, if you saw it in what am I trying to say here? If you actually saw Christian wearing this attire, there we go. You'd understand like what they're going for. So I like that we got the Chase of Christian there. Obviously, the Brood. I thought they were so cool. I think till this day, people still think they're really cool, and we're hoping we'd get them at WrestleMania. But there is my Brood. Let's throw Christian. We'll just throw him over. Let's Gangrel. You can sneak on over here too. And then lastly, to finish up, we have Midian. So this is a complete custom of mine, and this is what I needed to complete the ministry. I did not make Naked Midian. It crossed my mind. I considered it, but I had to make the just Ministry of Darkness Midian for my collection. And this was so fun to make because it's just a weird character. But like, there's just so much. Like, he's got the big pants design, the shirt design. You're not going to mistake this for anyone else. I got this head scan from House 14. The decals are from Curb Stomp. And then I do need to touch it up a little bit. There's some dashes here, but you can see the tattoos on this arm. Got that. Like, I say iconic. When I think of Midian, this is the shirt I think of. So, like, there's no other choice for him. This is the quintessential Midian. If you were watching in the Attitude Era, it was an absolute must. But he's got his tattoos over here. I used a Bray Wyatt body. So, the crotch piece and torso are both Bray Wyatt pieces, and then I just used shield legs. So he was tall. He was a tall guy, and that torso covers that height pretty well. And then he did have skinny arms because he was just kind of like a big dude, but not really like super fit. So it works out. I did paint there, so you can see the head a little bit closer here. I don't know what happened. Apparently, I just like got some of the skin tone on the side. I'll fix that up with the hair, but did like a darker brown. I gave him his eyeliner. He's got the Ministry logo here. But one thing I did find interesting too was that Curb Stomp's, like, so this decal spells Midian Midian or ION, and when I looked it up online, like Google mostly has Mideon, which is how I expected. And then when I looked up more pictures of him, it was spelled the way that Curb Stomp has it. So shout out to Curb Stomp for the accuracy there. But yeah, there's my Midian. I don't know, not much else to say about him. I wouldn't say he's an icon, but nevertheless, he is still a cool custom to have. And I do want to get just like the single shot of the Ministry all up here together. Come on. So we've got Gangrel and Edge and the Brood over here. Let's throw Midian there. I'm gonna have to do some squeezing to get everyone in here. Oh yeah, that's not gonna work. We'll be right back. There we go. There we have it. There is everyone in the Ministry of Darkness. And I've wanted to do this for a while, and I just knew I had to get Midian done. And I'm finally, here I am. I'm really excited. I'll definitely post some more shots of him up on Instagram, just some closer shots of the tattoos and everything. But if you want to check out more showcases, we've got a full playlist of them. I do plan on doing a bunch of just like my top 10 customs, top 10 elites. I don't know, like more stuff like that. So keep the suggestions coming. I've already put down a lot of ideas from stuff that you guys have told me, so I appreciate that. Outside of that, please continue to like, share, subscribe. I appreciate it. And remember, you can't buy happiness, but you can buy more action figures. Figure Dude out.